Yeah, buddy! Wow. There's like a bunch of wind turbines over there. There's like a mountain over there. That's amazing. Now I just have to pick a campsite. And I have the pick of the lot. There's literally no one here. Perks of coming on a Sunday. Giddy up. I think this one's it. So pretty. So tranquil. We've even got the fire pit, a log bench, and we're surrounded. And so I feel pretty safe setting up here. Like a spider web, like so. What's going on here? Go. That wasn't so hard. So we're gonna speed this up a little bit. Okay, that's the fly on. And now for the last step, pegs. And because that is such a boring task, I'm just gonna, just like that, all done. Finally. Oh, the only thing I need to do now is just sort out the water situation. There is a water tank here, but I have not tried drawing water from it yet, so I better do that before I get too excited. And two, we need to sort out dinner as well, because I have not eaten much all day. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hot. It's very stuffy in here, and stuffy in all of this. But we're gonna have to eat at some stage, so I'm gonna suss out the water, and yeah, cook some food. Wow, that's so good. Oh my goodness. There are so many flies here. I think I'm gonna sit somewhere else. Enjoy some me time for a little bit. Yeah. Okay, well, it's quite dark out there now, so I figured I might just pop in to the tent for the night because there's also like heaps of bugs. There's mosquitoes, I can just hear them everywhere I go if I walk around outside. So I imagine it'll be better in the morning, so I figure I might as well get comfortable, take my socks off, take these really hot pants off because I don't need to worry about bugs now that I'm inside. And I might even take this off as well because it's boiling. I mean, well, it's not boiling, but it's warm. So anyway, good night. I'm gonna hopefully sleep well, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning. It's been raining. I wasn't really expecting rain, but I guess when you're on top of a mountain, conditions can just change randomly, rapidly, without much notice. So Gotta be prepared for anything, I guess. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and I barely slept at all last night. Just so many noises. It's really windy. It's just kind of like a little bit scary at times. This is like the first time I've ever done this, so I actually don't know what I expected. This tent also flaps around a little bit in the wind, so I think at times it sounded like someone was shaking my tent or brushing up past it, or there was like a wombat or something trying to like get in, but I don't think that was actually the case. I think it might have just been how taut the actual tent was, so don't know about that. The other thing is that my legs are so sore. I hit the gym like maybe the day before this hike, but the day after the gym, my legs, my inner thighs were killing. And I just have a feeling that now that I'm on this hike and I'm using those legs again, I haven't really given them much of a break. I don't know how we're gonna go today. It's probably gonna be slow going. And since it's raining, we probably won't get to see as much on the way down. It's gonna be quite wet, a bit cloudy maybe. I'm gonna try and cook some breakfast in the tent. I don't even know if you meant to do that. And then I've got to try and pull this tent down, and I'll show you, but there's like droplets of water all over the fly of this tent. But I am sore, so I may not stop very often, but I think we'll crack on.
That's perfect. I'd even be happy if it was cold, to be honest. I'm not a very big hot breakfast person, so we'll make and do.
Welcome back. That was a 20-kilometer hike in the Mount Buangor Regional Park. More specifically, that was the Beeripmo walk, which is near a town called Raglan in Victoria. And it was a beautiful hike. I honestly can't wait to go back and do it again. I feel like I didn't give it its best chance in terms of being able to admire all the scenery. There was at least 2 mountains I could have climbed. Mount Buangor, which we managed to get to the lookout for, which was awesome. In fact, I'm still quite happy that we got to that point at least. But there's also another peak. I believe it's called Sugarloaf Peak, but unfortunately I had to cut this particular hike short because, and I'm not exaggerating, I was in so much pain. My legs just could not move. Like 50 meters into me heading off from the Beeripmo campground where I stayed the night, I was in absolute agony. There was like a very slight uphill gradient and it just killed me. I couldn't do it. So I had to make a split decision right then and there. I had to cut through this loop through some fire trails. So thank God, really, that they exist and that I could traverse down them back to the trailhead, Richard's campsite. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. I've kind of been putting off finishing this video and making this little outro here because it's a little bit embarrassing, I'll be honest. I was fully set out to finish this hike, do the entire loop, get it verified, completed on all trails, and just brag about how great it was and how able I was to do it. But that's sometimes just not what happens. I went in with expectations and they just weren't met. So quite a few lessons to have learnt on this trip. Number one was to do heaps of research on the location that you're going to visit, because I planned to just pull straight into the trailhead and just start the hike from there, but that is not what happened at all. I had to park at least 1.5 kilometers away from Richard's campsite, an extra half an hour to an hour in terms of distance and time. Not to mention I started the hike quite late. I think I started around 1, maybe 2 o'clock. And I also completely underestimated the weather. For some reason I had it in my mind that it was just going to be completely dry, completely clear, like all day, all night. And the next day I thought it was just going to be completely fine. But turns out the weather just took a massive turn up on the mountain. And I suppose that's just what happens when you're on top of a mountain. Conditions change and you kind of just have to prepare for the worst, really. I was just not in the state to press on and try to achieve some more scenic views. So we turned in, took a shortcut and came home. And in the end, we still did about the same distance, at least in terms of kilometers, that we would have done if we did the full loop. But rather than doing a lot of up and then down, it was just downhill the whole way. So yeah, that's the other thing that I learnt, to just know my limits and do the right thing for my body and my skill level, because ultimately this was the first time I'd ever done anything like this. It was quite challenging. It was so fun though, and I can't wait to do it again. I think I just need to be more careful with myself. 2 days before this hike, I was at the gym, which is something I don't do often anyway, doing a bit of work on the legs and doing a bit of work on the arms. Going to the gym from being away from it for so long, quite unwise for me to do 2 days prior to this hike. So I won't be doing that again anytime soon. The gym can certainly wait, but I didn't know my limits ultimately, and I had to cut the trip in half. So yeah, you're welcome to jump onto my All Trails activity, which I will have posted in my link tree, just into the description of this video. There's like a gap on the first day where I was sort of jumping from one waterfall to the other. There was just so much water on the first day. It was awesome. I felt really safe and secure, well provided for. The campsite itself had really great facilities, drop toilets, a rainwater tank, which I ended up filtering just in case. That's the other thing, like you just never really know what the quality of the water is going to be like. So I did that as well. There was maybe 1 or 2 other people on this trail, and I only saw them like right at the very end of the day, once I'd set up camp and everything. There's also a few other links on there, like I've got Instagram on there. I've got a list of the gear that I took with me that particular hike as well. So by all means, check that stuff out down in the description. But yeah, other than that, I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me this far, honestly. I've actually planned to do a really big trip with my best mate, my best man, late January. So expect a video for that one, maybe a couple weeks after, more like Feb sometime. We're going to the beach and we're doing a multi-night hike, which will be really fun. I feel like it's heaps easier to get through and push through some hardship like what I experienced on this hike when you've got someone with you, when you've got some support. I've never been camping anywhere near the beach before, so I think it'll just be a really leisurely, relaxing experience. And he's my best mate, like we're gonna have heaps of fun. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. More hikes to come, hopefully some more videos of different kinds coming as well. Christmas is very close, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.